Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be giving my match predictions for the semi-finals of the Euros 2020. And I can't even believe it, we're actually at the semi-final stage already. It has actually been an amazing tournament, and I know we missed out a year of football in the international tournament because of COVID, but honestly, this tournament has made up for it, man. The quarterfinals were literally legendary yet again. Spain literally had to survive on penalty shootouts. You had other teams like Italy roll over and steamrolling Belgium, the top ranked team in the world right now. You have England making their first semi-finals in a Euros competition since 1996, and their fairy tale dream continues for Denmark, man. So football's in a good place. So let's hope for more of the same in terms of the semi-finals when it comes to this tournament, man. I'm hoping for more goals, more action, another England win. But yes, so I'm going to be giving my predictions for the semi-finals like I said. Remember guys to like, comment and hit that big subscribe button right there, and make sure you guys in the comment section give me your own predictions on who you think will win the Euros 2020 and who you think will get to the final in terms of the teams played in it. So yeah, so let me just get straight into the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. So the first game I'm going to be talking about is the bigger game, obviously. So it's between Spain and Italy. And who would have thought 3 years ago you'd have seen Italy, who didn't even qualify for the World Cup, get into the semi-finals already under Roberto Mancini, and Spain, who does not have that star-driven name like Mbappe or Ronaldo to help them get to the semi-finals. People were saying that the golden era of Spain has over, rightfully so, because they don't have that talented players, but they've still managed to reach the semi-finals. This is a testament to how great these managers are, Luis Enrique and Roberto Mancini. And if you really think about it, these two are the best coaches in the tournament. So it shouldn't really come to a surprise when you have the two best coaches in the tournament managing your nation. You should be able to get this far. But the reason why I think both teams have been able to get to a semi-finals of an international tournament is because of the style of play. In terms of every other nation, they've been having some identity crisis. I like looking at Portugal because they've had all this influx of great talent. João Felix, then you have Moutinho, they have Ronaldo, Jota, Fernandes, Silva, trying to get all of them into the same team. But they differed away for made them successful in 2016, literally playing defensive football. They had an identity crisis. Even France reverted to a three at the back. They didn't really know what they were doing against Switzerland. Only Italy and Spain are the only two nations, if you really think about it, who know the exact style of football. And they both play, to be fair to them, Spain sometimes, but Italy on the most part, play attacking flair football, which gets their fans excited. But in terms of this game, it's going to be very exciting to see which team backs off, because we know both teams like monopolizing, dominating the ball in possession, trying to get 60 to 65% of the ball, trying to control and dictate the tempo of the game. Italy love doing that, and it's been in Spain's DNA. And if you really ask me which team I think would back off, it would probably be Spain, but it's just not in their nature to back off. They always want to be in the front foot. They always want to take the game to the opposition. So I don't see them doing it. And I think this game is a coin toss. I really think whoever gets a grab of the game and actually dictates the game, the speed of it, is going to win the game. But let me just talk about both nations, and let me start with Italy. They have been the team of the tournament, and I'll hold my hands up. I didn't believe in Forza Italia. I really thought they were going to be overhyped, and when they actually win against a big team like Belgium, they will actually fold. And to be fair, Belgium did not have Hazard, but they did have Kevin De Bruyne, who did play well. So Italy still faced a very good side, and they just dominated the game. But their style of play is just superior. The way they go into a three at the back when they're going forward, and when they come in a defensive structure, they play four at the back. It's just hard for teams to cope with this. They do not have a game plan. They cannot strategize. They cannot plan for this because it's just too much to handle. And then you have their inside forwards like Insigne cutting in onto his right foot, scoring that lovely finesse goal against one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Courtois. Like, how do you stop this, man? The way Jorginho looks great in the midfield. Like, I've said it since day one. Like, he's okay in the Premier League, but he suits a slower style of football. Just like Xhaka, when it's the international stage, that's when you truly see the best of him. And then you have the Italian defense. There's some things which just never change. When you have Chiellini and Bonucci at the back, you know you're going to be safe, and you know you're not going to concede that many goals. So going forward and going defensively, Italy do look strong, and they look like a great outfit. So Italy must be the favourites going into this game. Spain, I do give them a shot, but it's a very little shot, man. Spain's only real chance is if they go down the flanks like we saw Belgium did with Doku taking on the wing-backs 1v1, because we know they do not feel comfortable tracking back. Going forward, they look amazing, but tracking back, they do not look comfortable. That's where Alba, who had an absolutely superb superb game against Switzerland, going down that flank, causing all sorts of problems, getting crosses into the box, hurting Switzerland where it hurts. So if Alba can do that, just like Doku did with Belgium, it can cause Italy problems. That's the only true weak point I see. However, we know Spain and we know their type of finishing, and we saw with Moreno, we saw with Morata, when the money's on the table, they do not grab the money. When they have so many chances against Switzerland, like we saw in extra time, they could not finish it. They got lucky going into penalties, because I think Switzerland should have won. I don't know what the penalty takers were doing. But Spain cannot rely on this again. You're not going to get 5 to 6 chances against Italy. So you have to make it count if you get 1 or 2 chances. Moreno has so many sitters, but he couldn't finish his dinner. So imagine against Italy when you don't get that many chances. It's going to be a very long night. So 1 or 2 chances. If they had a world-class striker or world-class player who could finish off the dinner, I'll give Spain a better chance. But they don't. And we know the Italians, like I'm saying, they love their last-ditch tackles. It's in their DNA. Bonucci, Chiellini. We saw those blockers against Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne, every single time. Chiellini smiling at Kevin De Bruyne saying, look, I got you in my pocket, because every time you shoot, I'm going to be that brick wall. So Spain are going to have a hard enough obstacle already dealing with Italy. So if they do not get their shots on target, it's just going to be a long night, and I just don't see Spain having any real chance of winning this game. So because of this, I just don't see anything else but an Italian win. So I'm just going to go for a 2-0 victory for Roberto Mancini's men, and I just think they're going to be able to go to Wembley to the finals. So the next game I'm going to be talking about is England versus Denmark, and this is the other semi-finals matches that we're all going to watch, and hopefully, like I always say, England do win this game. But on a serious note, let me just start off with Gareth Southgate. I need to give him so much credit, because so many England fans, just like myself, have been giving him stick, saying that he's not the right man for the job. But I actually trust him now. I actually trust England. I know it isn't pretty. I know it isn't stylistically beautiful. It's not pleasing on the eye the way England play. But there's one thing we cannot lie, it's efficient, it gets the job done. England are performing like a well-oiled machine, and we have to trust them, because we haven't conceded a goal all tournament. If you ask me at the beginning of the tournament, you have Maguire and Stones playing at the back, you're not going to concede a goal all tournament. Despite them being decent defenders, they're not on the level of a Diaz or Van Dijk, where you think, okay, they're not going to concede a goal all tournament. So obviously Southgate deserves a lot of credit, working on that well-organised shape, making it hard for oppositions to break England down. And I know England fans are suffering from PTSD because of other managers like Capello, Ericsson, Roy Hodgson, Sam Allardyce, every single one of them. They couldn't get the job done when they had decent squads. And now we're thinking, how is this guy of Southgate, a guy who's inexperienced, the guy who's coming from the under-21s, a guy who wears a waistcoat, the guy who's never managed in the Premier League or outside of literally international football, how is he going to lead England to the promised land? I understand that feeling, but now we actually have to get behind him, and we actually have to trust his judgment, even if he makes the unpopular decisions that he's been doing all tournament, but has all been pulled off. We have to trust him. But honestly, if we look back at the past, if we look back at history, if we are looking for historical precedent to guide England to how do we win the Euros, if we're looking for a set formula, go back into 2004 when Greece won the Euros. Go back to 2016 when Portugal won the Euros. Go back to 2018 when France won the World Cup. The best way of winning a major tournament is playing defensive football. It is much harder playing attacking football, because it's much harder to think of a game plan to break down low blocks. If you are that low block, there's going to be space in behind for us to take advantage of. And that's what Southgate has been doing all tournament. So I don't expect this to stop against Denmark. But let's talk about the game itself. We shouldn't take Denmark lightly. They're actually a very good side to actually get all the way to a semi-finals, so we must show them some sort of respect when it comes to this game. But at the same time, we have to realise, I know Denmark have been playing well, but if you compare Denmark's starting lineup to England's starting lineup, not even a single player from Denmark's team would get into the English side. So it just shows that England should be winning this game no matter what. We shouldn't be clapping thinking, oh, we got to a semi-finals, that's enough. No, we actually are favourites for the game, and we must fulfil this duty of winning the game for the fans and the nation. Also, England are playing at home with 60,000 roaring fans literally cheering the team on. So England must win this game. In terms of the game itself, I think England will let Denmark have a lot of the ball, let them dictate the game, and literally sit back and pick their moments when to counter. I know it's at Wembley, I know there's 60,000 roaring fans, but we have to stick to the game plan and not play the occasion itself, because England have a working formula, like I said, and it's working right now, so there's no point of changing this, no point of compromising this, just in case we might lose. If we do press, we might be left open for Denmark to pick us off, and Denmark actually do have talented players. Like we've seen, they've literally scored 10 goals in the last 3 games, so we have to be wary. But in terms of players, Kyle Walker literally had a shocking game against Ukraine. I don't think he was very good defensively. He literally made some bad, poor decisions, which led to a nearly Ukraine goal, so he needs to fix up, especially going against Damsgaard, who's been one of the best players in the tournament this Euros, who's not going to look to slow down. The way he's a crafty player, he can pick up the balls in pockets of space, literally hurt England, play those through balls for Dolberg, or literally posted if he plays as well. These guys are actually very intelligent players, so I hope Kyle Walker brings his A game to deal with this, because if he doesn't, Damsgaard can cause England a lot of problems, especially if Denmark have loads of the ball in terms of the game itself. Other performances, Phillips, Rice, they're going to have to be super aggressive, like they have been all tournament, closing players down, because we know Denmark loves to interchange. We know Dolberg loves to link up with Damsgaard, and even if Poulsen plays, he likes to do that as well. We know the Denmark players are literally on the same wavelength. They know what runs they're going to make, so we have to make sure we're organised, structured. Phillips and Rice can help the defenders stop this sort of play, which would really hurt us in terms of them scoring a goal. But in terms of England, obviously we have attacking players. Obviously we have Harry Kane, which I said did not drop. People were saying, oh, bring on Calvert Lewin. People were saying, bring on Marcus Rashford. People were saying, Kane doesn't fit the system. But I told you guys, when you have the best striker in the world, you don't try and make the best striker in the world fit a system. You make a system which fits the best striker in the world, and England have been playing to Harry Kane's strengths, because now they're actually looking at him and they're actually trying to make through balls to him like Raheem Sterling did for that great goal which Kane scored against Ukraine. England are actually trying to look for the best striker in the world. They're actually trying to play through him. And we saw that with his other goal, the header as well, where Luke Shaw crossed it. Great cross by him. Been having a great season as well in terms of the Euros itself. So let's hope this continues. And let's hope England carry on creating chances for Harry Kane, because when he does get the chances, he can really punish teams like we saw the other night. And Harry Kane is going to be going against players like Vestergaard and Christensen. And no disrespect to them, they have been having good tournaments, and they're probably going to make the All-11 team of the season in terms of the Euros. But let's be honest, man. If those two were in the Premier League, what team would they be? They'd probably be like a mid-table Crystal Palace team. Like, not really that much respect. I know Christian plays for Chelsea, but doesn't even start with them. And they play 3 centre-backs. So come on, man, let's not joke here. I know they're a good side, but they're not that good where England should be worried that they're going to be able to stifle us defensively. Obviously, other talking points, Raheem Sterling, another amazing game. So I expect him to take on one-on-one with the Denmark right back. And obviously, would Jadon Sancho be able to start in terms of the Euros? Because Saka's injured. Phil Foden has teetered out. Jack Grealish, we know Southgate doesn't really like playing 2 cams like that on the same pitch. So it'll be interesting if Sancho gets another opportunity. Who had a decent game. I think he could have been better against Ukraine. I want to see more one-on-one duels on his flank, taking on the left back, but he didn't really do that much. But hopefully he gets another opportunity to prove himself. England have to win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory, and I honestly believe it's going to be an England v Italy final, and that's going to be a very good final. It's going to be, well, let me not get ahead of myself, of course, but come on, man, Italy versus England, that's a very good game.